That's what the information you received and then you relayed to me. So I felt the need to disclose that. And look, I think I've already.
So y'all, I was here talking to myself the whole time.
Look at each other, communicate this side of the bench, it's not allowed to communicate that side.
She's on trial for
Start violating.
booting her husband,
Meeting the
the
order.
one that got pregnant in jail.
Way that this trial is going to proceed.
Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Tell me what you guys think of the trial so far.
Anything that we have
Let's
to
get
take up
into it.
before I check in with my data to see if all the jurors are here?
The only thing that I want to mention to the court, I obviously mentioned this to Your Honor in the back a few minutes ago, and I spoke to Mr. Tomas already. There are a handful of witnesses that must be called this morning. I'm asking that we just work through their testimony. One of them is Detective Fernandez, who's going to be talking about the retrieval process of that DVR. Depending on what the court's ruling is, whether or not that satisfies the court or not, I have Detective Danny Morales in the courtroom as well, who will also talk about what his observations on that video from Mr. Cisneros was. I can call him this morning. If not, I understand, but I do have my CSI officer, Detective Fernandez, and then Mr. Cisneros as well. I'm going to ask if whatever time they finish is what time.
So it looks like they're going to get into how the DVR got deleted today.
And we finish, and then we can break for lunch. I have a handful of officers here this afternoon. I'm going to ask that we finish with the officers, whether it's early or not today. And then I should be, my hope is that I'm able to rest tomorrow.
So we can work through lunch. We'll just gauge to see if the jury needs a comfort break here and there, and if we need one also. But for scheduling purposes, that works for me. Do you guys need water? Just on a day, usually we have pictures of water, so you all let me know. So do I think that are you okay with that schedule?
Yeah.
We may have to lunch.
That's fine.
I can go off record until we wait for the jury and the debate to come down.
Thank you.
Judge, sorry, I forgot. I have a quick court hearing at 11:45.
In this building?
Yes, when that happens, just so I step up and handle it and come back.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Just remind me. Just so
I will.
We'll decide our, we'll take a little break.
Yes.
Jason, we'll go off.
You know, she's a very pretty girl. It's sad that, she's done this to herself, but we don't know. We don't know what happened. We don't know the truth about what happened that night. So hopefully we'll get to it. All right. Game on.
All right, Mr. Smith, I guess you're cold. You'll put your jacket on and the hoodie. That's fine. But if you start, that's fine. But it's not going to cause you to like doze off or anything, right? You're not going to get too cozy. If it's too cold in here, I can ask the building manager to come up and make it okay. All right, state your next witness.
Judge, at this time, the state calls Detective Zapata to the stand. Permission to read.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to go grab some water. I'll be back.
Raise your hand. Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes, you can, man.
Judge, may I proceed?
Yeah.
Good morning. Can you please state your name for the record?
Jimenez Zapata.
Ms. Zapata, what is your occupation?
I am a crime scene technician
And how long have you been a crime scene technician?
for almost 10 years.
And what department do you currently work for now?
Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office
How long have you worked for Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office?
for almost 10 years.
Do you have specialized training as a crime scene technician?
Yes.
Can you please explain to the jury what that training is?
Specialized training consists of going to training, for example, some of them could be a 4-hour course or an 80-hour course where you would spend the entire week doing crime scene processing, photography, doing things with blood spatter, fingerprint, just anything related to crime scene.
Now, what is your role as a crime scene technician?
My role as a crime scene technician is to respond to various crime scenes where I'll be processing and documenting the crime scene.
Now, I want to direct your attention to June 25th, 2022. Were you working that morning as a crime scene technician?
Yes, I was.
And did you respond to 1237 Northwest 14th Street in Homestead, Florida?
Yes, I did.
And what did you respond in reference to, Detective?
I responded to a reference to a homicide investigation.
Now, as a crime scene technician, what is it that you do when you arrive on scene?
Typically, the first thing that I do is that I speak with the detective on scene, where they would give me a brief synopsis, case summary of what might have occurred. And then after that, we do a walkthrough of the scene.
And what detective did you speak to in this case?
It was Detective Cruz.
What time did you arrive to the scene?
I arrived at the scene at approximately 5:45 in the morning.
And I know you mentioned you spoke to Detective Cruz. Did he brief you on what had happened?
Yes, he did.
And you mentioned you did the walkthrough, so I want to talk about your walkthrough, okay? What is it that you did in reference to photos? What did you take photos of?
As soon as we did the walkthrough, we started taking photos, and the photos will consist of overall photograph, basically when I get to the scene, what I see. And then after that, it will be mid-range photos, and then those are photos of anything that is related to the scene and or items of evidential value.
So I want to talk about those overall photos to start. Judge, permission to introduce what has already been admitted to evidence based on stipulations by the parties?
Sure, just let Ray read it to the record.
Say exhibit 1L, marked for identification, now becomes say exhibit 8. And 1N, say exhibit 1N, marked for identification, now becomes say exhibit 9.
Permission to publish, Judge. Go ahead. Now, Detective, what are we looking at in this case? What is this photo?
What we're looking at is kind of like a bird's eye view of the scene where I responded to.
And what is this photo?
That photograph is a front view overall of the front of the residence.
And is this where the residence is?
That's correct.
And this photo?
That photo shows an eye's view of the entire scene.
And what is this photo focusing on here?
That photos is showing the also part of the scene, but more so concentrating on the alleyway where the victim was found, and also 2 vehicles.
Is this the alleyway that you're talking about?
That's correct.
What is this in reference to the defendant and victim's house? Is this the front of the house, or what part of the house is that?
That is the front of the house if you're viewing it from the street. Next.
And what is this area?
That is the front of the house also.
Now, where are we in this area?
We are in front of the house, but at an angle, of the front of the house.
Now, detective, now that we got to the overall photos of the scene, what else did you take pictures of?
I photographed various areas where they were acquiring blood, more so a blood trail. I also photographed vehicles and also a firearm.
And where is it that you observed these blood trails?
The blood trail appeared to have started from directly in front of the residence, leading towards the front of the residence, the walkway, a walk path, leading towards the sidewalk, the residence next to it, eventually through an alleyway, and then it ended where the victim collapsed.
Judge, permission for the witness to step down,
Go ahead, step down.
and permission to retrieve what has already been admitted into evidence as states composite 1 and 2. Detective, can you mark for the jury, where is it that you saw these blood trails in the entire scene?
So it's high as we can. Thanks.
So there were various areas where blood was observed from here, leading here, 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 here. And there might have been some on here.
And where is the alleyway for the jury?
This is the alleyway here. What we consider the alleyway was basically all this here, and then there's a vehicle here, and the victim was found somewhere on here.
And
Just
where,
for clarification, what exhibit are we at?
States Exhibit 6.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can pick. So it started here and it went all the way here, and then the cars and the alleyways here.
That's correct.
Thank you. Now, if I were to show you photos of those blood trails you took, would you recognize it?
Yes.
Judge, permission to enter into evidence based on stipulation by the parties, what has been previously marked as stage 1N.
State exhibit 1N, marked for identification, now becomes state exhibit 10.
Now, before I show you the photos, detective, how is it that you marked where those blood trails you observed are?
The blood trails were marked with orange evidence cone and also orange flags.
Now, where was this blood trail at?
That blood trail, it's on the ground.
Is this near the alleyway?
It appears to be.
Now, I see an evidence marker here. Is that where blood trail was as well?
That's correct.
And the defendant's house, is it onto the left?
That's correct.
Was this, what area was this blood trail?
That blood trail, it's on the walkway right before that previous photo that we saw the vehicle, that was behind the vehicle.
And where was this blood trail located at?
That blood trail was on the grass. It might have been on one of the residents.
Is this also where one of the residents was?
Yes, that was leading towards, it was in front of the, another residence leading towards the back way of the house into the alleyway.
Now, Detective, where is this particular house?
That house is adjacent to the residence where the victim might have lived, right in front, excuse me.
So their residence, is it to the right?
Yes, the residence is to the right.
Was there significant blood trail on this truck right here?
Yes, there was.
And now, what you demonstrated to the jury with that aerial mark, is this the path that the victim took while he was leaving out?
Yes, it's kind of like in between that trampoline and the vehicle. There's an area where it leads to the alleyway.
Would it be this area right here?
That's correct.
Now, Detective, I know you mentioned that the blood trails were on some of the cars and also in some of the alleyways. I want to talk about the alleyway now. Did you take photos of the alleyway?
Yes, I did.
What was it that you observed in the alleyway?
In the alleyway, what I observed was also, in addition to the blood trail, there were two vehicles, and obviously where the victim expired.
What color were the two vehicles?
The first vehicle is a red truck, and the second one is a silver vehicle.
The silver vehicle, where was that vehicle located?
The vehicle was located in the alleyway. In relationship to the body, it was towards the victim's feet, in front of the victim, but in the alleyway.
Judge, permission to enter into evidence what is already, based on stipulations of the party, what's previously marked as H10.
The exhibit 10, mark for identification, now becomes the exhibit 11. Good.
Now, Detective, where is this red car in relation to the alleyway? Is it close, is it far?
No, it's relative nearby the alleyway.
And is this, why did you photograph right here?
Apparent blood.
Is the blood located right here?
Yes.
Now, in the aerial scene that we already showed the jury, is this the alleyway we were talking about earlier?
Yes, that's leading towards the alleyway.
Was there a lot of blood on this car?
Yes, there was a significant amount of blood.
And is this the car that was closest to the victim's body?
That's correct.
Was there any blood on the car?
I believe so. Do you have a different photograph?
Now, I want to talk about the victim's body. What did you see when you observed it?
The victim was covered with a yellow first aid blanket. Underneath the blanket, it was a victim, and he had a tourniquet on his right leg.
Did he appear to have injuries?
Yes, he did.
What were those injuries?
A gunshot wound.
If I were to show you the photos you took, would you recognize them?
Yes.
Judge, permission to enter into evidence what has been based on stipulation by the parties, what's been previously marked as 1P, states 1P.
Say exhibit 1P, marked for identification, now becomes say exhibit 12, Judge.
Now, Detective, are these evidence markers blood trails as well?
That's correct.
And this yellow tarp, is that what you were talking about earlier, where the victim's body is?
That's correct.
And is this the silver car we were talking about earlier?
Yes.
Where was that money found?
That was also in the alleyway, in close proximity to the victim.
Is this the tourniquet you were mentioning earlier?
Yes.
Now, Detective, aside from taking photos, did you collect and document any other evidence from the scene?
Yes, I did.
What did you collect?
A firearm.
Before we get to the firearm, did you also document inside of the victim and defendant's house?
Yes, I did.
You took photographs of it?
That's correct.
If I were to show you those photographs, would you recognize them?
Yes.
Judge, permission to enter into evidence based on stipulation by the parties was been previously marked as states 1Q.
Say exhibit 1Q, marked for identification, now becomes say exhibit 13, sorry.
Now, Detective, where is this area in your house?
That is the living room.
What about this one?
That is a kid's bedroom.
Now, where is this?
That is also in the residence. It's the other bedroom.
Now, in this photo, Detective, I want to focus here to the left side. Does this appear to be male clothing?
Objection calls for speculation.
It's the same.
Now, let's talk about the firearm, Detective. Where did you observe the firearm was?
The firearm was located in a tree that was practically directly in front of the residence.
Was it located in plain sight?
No, it was not.
Where was it?
What'd she do? Shoot her boyfriend or husband and just pitch the weapon in the tree? Oh boy.
Located?
It was.
Where did you photograph that it was located?
It was. So you have a palm tree. Sorry, I just can't to show you guys. You have a palm tree, and then at the bottom you have the trunk, and then it had branches and bush. It was inside of it. Now it wasn't visibly. You couldn't visibly see it. You had to kind of like move out the branches in order to see the firearm.
Judge, permission to enter into evidence based on stipulation by the parties was previously marked as states 1R.
Say exhibit 1I, marked for identification, now becomes say exhibit 14.
I want to start with that tree we were talking about. Is that the tree?
Yes,
How close is this tree from the victim and defendant's house?
a couple of steps. It's very close.
And is that the firearm that was located?
Yes,
What type of firearm is that?
it's a semi-automatic.
Did it have a magazine?
Yes,
Was it loaded?
yes,
Is that where you found it?
that
Is
was
that where you photographed it, sorry?
correct. Yes,
So is this what you were talking about, you mentioned earlier that it wasn't in plain sight?
that's correct.
Where did you have to photograph for this?
Can you repeat the question?
Where did you have to photograph for it? Did you have to go inside the tree? and
Yes, we had to move some of the branches out in order to be able to see the firearm.
Now, detective, if I were to show you the firearm that you collected, would you recognize it?
Yes,
Now directing court, counsel, and witness to what has been previously marked. As states 1G, of the record that I show the defense counsel. Judge, permission to approach the witness?
This is a standing permission.
Oh, yes. Detective Zapata, is this the gun you collected from the scene on June 25th, 2022? Yes. Is it in the same or substantially the same condition as when you collected it on June 25th, 2022?
yes,
Your Honor, I now move into evidence what has been previously marked as stage 1G.
Say exhibit 1G, micro identification now becomes say exhibit 15.
It's weird how each courtroom does things differently. I find it weird. Like, there's some courtrooms in Florida that they will ask the jury if they have questions. There's some courtrooms in Iowa that do it. I guess they don't do it in every county. It's just wild how different different courtrooms work differently. Okay, back on.
Judge, permission for Detective Zapata to publish it to the jury? The firearm is not loaded. This is the firearm that we recovered on scene. This is the magazine. On scene, the magazine was inside of the magazine. This is the cartridge that was located inside of the firearm. No further questions, Judge.
Let's see if there's any cross-examination.
Can I see exhibit 6, real quick? Okay. Judge, may I approach him?
Any permission to flex to other tools?
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm showing you exhibit 6. Just for my own edification, can you, first off, can you tell me where is the house where Daisylink resides? This is the house, okay. And where is the spot where the body was found? Okay. So the blood trail, can you kind of tell me where it starts and where it ends, if you can be able to tell me?
There was a blood trail or the apparent blood around here, all this area here, off and on, leading up to here.
Okay. Maybe it'll help if I can, I don't know if the projector will cover all this. But,
You want to step down and polish?
yes,
So
please.
step down.
So I can do it on the projector. I'd like to try to do it. Okay, ma'am, mind? So I'll ask you what I exactly actually, well, I'll show you this. Where is the home where Daisylink resided? This home right here. And there's a red line here, which signifies a blood trail, is that correct?
Yes, the line that I attempted to draw signified where areas where they were on and off apparent blood leading up to the body.
So there's a line here, right? Is that correct?
There's blood there.
Look, there's also a true line signifying that, correct?
Correct.
All right, so we start here, goes all the way over here, all the way over here, and then we'll move it down a little bit. Turn it around. And that line comes over here, and you said the body was found here, is that correct? Where the exit is?
Approximately.
And there's some blood over here, and apparently it went as far as this white bar over here, is that correct?
No, that this here, this line all the way here, I was just talking about the alleyway.
Okay, so this, on the right side, this red line, this circle, there's no blood over here, is that what you're saying?
Correct, not that I recall.
So the blood that we found, it would be all in this section, correct?
And in the alleyway.
And then the other, anywhere where we see a red line, other than this one, is that correct?
Correct. You just on that.
So let me turn this around again. And again, this is Miss Link's house, right?
Yeah.
What's in this part of the house, if you can recall? And while you're thinking about that, give me one
I believe
moment.
it's another duplex.
Just give me one moment. So I'm showing you what has been admitted as composite exhibit 8. Several pictures of the house. But is this Miss Link's house as far as you can tell?
Yes.
So we see some windows here, right?
Yes.
This part of the house that we're looking at, is that what we would see on this side, or would that be what we would see on this side?
Should be on this side, if I recall correctly.
Okay. Now, this right here that I'm showing you, same exhibit, is this the front door?
Yes.
And where is that in relation to this picture, if you can tell us, if you know?
If I recall correctly, the front door should be.
All right, so you can take a seat now. Thank you for bearing with me. So we can agree that based on the blood trail, based on the red line that you drew for us, Mr. Jimenez was right at the front door, right? At one point.
It appears to be.
Thank you. No further questions.
Detective Zapata, did you collect any bullets or casings from the scene? Did you photograph any bullets or casings from the scene?
No, I did not.
And I know defense asked you on cross-examination whether there was blood right in front of the house that they lived in. Was there blood right in front of the house that you photographed that they lived in?
I'm sorry, I don't recall him asking if there was blood right in front of the house.
Was there blood in front of the house?
In front of the house, as in like down the steps?
Yeah, yes.
There might have been blood there, yes.
And if there was blood, Detective Zapata, would you have marked it with an evidence marker or flag?
If it would have been right in front of the house, it should have been something. If not, then you would have been able to see it with the photographs.
I'm showing you where the written entered into evidence as states 1, Exhibit 8.
Is that how?
Am I looking at the, yes,
Is there any markers or anything there?
no.
No further questions, please. May the witness be excused, Judge.
They call it Fernandez.
Raise your hand, please. You sign to affirm that testimony that is true, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Yes.
Yes, Chen for the meeting.
Good morning. Can you please introduce yourself to the members of the jury?
My name is Sergeant Zuleika Fernandez. I'm with Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office
And how long have you been with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office?
since 2006.
And is that formally known as Miami-Dade Police Department?
Sorry?
Is that formally known as the Miami-Dade Police Department?
Yes.
It's the same department,
Yes.
different names?
Yes.
What unit do you work in?
Currently,
Yes.
in the Kendall District, so I'm a uniform patrol at the moment.
Do you have a specialized role in the unit?
I'm a sergeant, so I'm the sergeant right now in Kendall District on midnights.
Do you work in video retrieval?
I did at one point, yes.
Now, I want to take you all the way back to June 25th of 2022. Did you work in the video retrieval unit then?
I did.
And what were your duties in that unit?
My duty was basically to respond whenever detectives from different bureaus would contact us to export video evidence for their case.
In order to be in that unit and to retrieve those things, you get any kind of specialized training?
Yes.
Can you briefly explain to the members of the jury what that training is?
So I went to Dorothy Stout training. It's a 3-day course, which actually it teaches you how to export videos from different systems. And then we had LIBA, which is, there's 4 different LIBAs. I went to LIBA 1. And that one is a little bit more in depth. It actually shows you how to go into the hard drives in case that you're not able to actually export video the native way. So then you would basically go into the hard drive and try to get the video that way.
And would it be fair to say that based off your training that you get in the video retrieval unit, that you get specific trainings on different types of recording systems?
Different systems, completely NVR, DVR, cloud-based systems, any type of system.
Now, I know we kind of already mentioned this already, but were you working in your capacity as a police officer in that video retrieval unit on or about June 25th of 2022?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Were you working in your capacity as a police officer in the video retrieval unit on or about June 25th?
Yes.
What about to June 29th, 2022?
I was still within the video forensic unit.
Now, before we move on to those dates, can you explain to the jury the process of actual video retrieval?
So normally what we do is we actually document everything about the DVR, from the serial numbers to the cameras that the system actually holds, to the amount of cameras that are actually working at the time. If there is any offset, so if real time and offset do not match, we actually document that to show that even if we pull video for specific times, the reason we got that video at that time is because DVR time and real time were completely off. We document the earliest recording. So anything from if the incident occurred in May, but the actual DVR holds video until March. So you can go back all the way to March. We document the cameras and the actual times that the detectives request, and that's pretty much it.
And are you trained in the process of, let's say it doesn't work, if you're called out to a scene, it doesn't work there, are you trained in the process of, let's say, bringing it back to headquarters to retrieve it in a different way?
Yeah, so if we're not able to export on scene, we obviously speak to the detectives first, let them decide. We'll let them know in that moment, hey, it's not working, we're not able to export on scene. However, we do have DVR examiner back in the office, so we could plug it straight into the hard drive and try that method.
Can you explain to the members of the jury what that DVR examiner is?
DVR examiner allows you to go into the hard drive and export the entire thing. So the entire data on the actual hard drive.
Now, does it work for every single unit, or are there sometimes failures?
No, there's definitely failures. A lot of times when you get hard drives, either they're already failing or they're corrupted. And if you plug it in, it's the same thing as a USB. A lot of the times they get damaged over time.
Now, on June 29, 2022, did you respond to 1300 Northwest 15th Street?
Yes,
Why did you do that?
I was requested by homicide detectives to respond.
And do you know who the owner of that home was?
Personally, no, I don't.
But did you know his name?
Cisnero?
Is that Robert Cisneros?
I'm not sure.
Is there anything that refreshes your recollection?
I could look at my report and see.
If you can, don't just look up when you're done.
Yeah,
Refresh
Robert
your
Cisneros.
memory. Great, thank you. Did you make contact with him?
I didn't. I made contact with the detectives. The detectives were the ones making contact with him.
What, if anything, did you do after arriving on scene?
Once they allowed me to access the DVR, that's exactly what I did. I went straight to the DVR and I started working on trying to get the export.
Okay, did the homeowner give you consent or did you have to get a warrant to get that DVR?
I would have to look at my,
Please,
so it looks like it was verbal
verbal consent.
consent.
Okay. Now, can you explain to the members of the jury what DVR system Mr. Cisneros had?
So he had a Shield DVR, which is it's a regular CCTV system. It's not cloud-based, it's not MVR. There is no client, anything like that. It was just a basic DVR system.
Was it an older model, newer model? If you knew.
I wouldn't know that information.
Is this a model that you were familiar with?
Yes.
Can you explain to the members of the jury what that DVR had? Like in order for you to download it?
To export?
Yeah.
So normally with that system, you would go to their main menu and you would either look for the backup or the export option of the system. So the route that we were going to take that day was USB, which would be the native export.
Did it have a USB port that you could plug in to download?
Yes.
Were you able to download it on scene?
No.
Why not?
For whatever reason, when I went, the dates were available and the system actually went back to April. However, when I went to go back to the times to actually export the times, for whatever reason, the times were not available.
Okay, but the date was.
Date was.
Was there any evidence of any kind of tampering anyway with that system when you were viewing it?
No, because for me to say that there was tampering, I would have to say that the entire hard drive was completely wiped out or formatted.
Can you explain that to the members of the jury? What
So-
do you mean by that?
With DVR systems, you can't go back and delete just one incident or one day or 1 hour, 2 hours. When you format a hard drive within the DVR, it completely wipes out the entire hard drive, meaning everything will just disappear. And in that case, the date was available, everything went back to April, which means that nothing happened. There was no way it was formatted.
Now, before we move on, were there specific days or times of interest that you were attempted to cover?
Yes, if I could look back on my
Please.
report though. So they wanted June 25th, 2022, 3 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Now, were you able to confirm at the time before you were trying to retrieve that video that the DVR itself was in working order?
The DVR was working.
Now, when you said that you weren't unable to download it via a USB, what, if anything, did you do next?
Once I wasn't able to export, I let the detectives on scene know. And at that point, I believe they received consent from the owner to take the DVR for further examination.
Did you take possession of that DVR?
I did.
And where'd you go with it?
Once I get the DVR, I take it back to the office.
And what did you do at the office with that DVR?
At the office, I plug it into DVR Examiner, and at that point, I attempted to conduct DVR Examiner on it, and for whatever reason, the actual hard drive was not scanning. It wasn't even allowing me to get to the point where I could export or even request to export.
Can you explain a little bit more what that means?
So I would plug it in to DVR Examiner. I would scan the DVR to actually pick up the hard drive, but it wasn't picking up the hard drive at all
Was there any evidence of any kind of tampering when you were doing that?
No.
Why not?
because I couldn't even get to the hard drive.
So the fact that you couldn't get to the hard drive was evidence itself that there was no tampering?
To me, evidence enough that the actual hard drive was damaged or somehow corrupt because I was never even able to enter into it. I was never even able to get into it enough to do anything.
What after that, did you inform anybody that their video was unable to be recovered?
Yes, detectives, Detective Gunnors.
Chinos.
Sorry, yes.
And what, if anything, did you do with the DVR after that?
Once I let them know what was going on, I just let them know the DVR is ready to be picked up. I documented everything and that was it.
When DVRs are in this manner returned, either because they cannot download those videos or things like that, is it a likely outcome, possible outcome that everything gets wiped from those DVRs?
So normally when we return the DVRs, we never plug them back in. And the reason for that is because if you plug it back in and there is, for whatever reason, data on there or anything like that, that they will need later down the line, if you plug it back in, it normally resets the hard drive altogether. So a lot of times we don't do that because just in case the detective says, hey, we need more time or we need to pull extra time, we just got more information. So we don't plug it in for that reason.
Did you purposely delete any video in this case?
No.
Is there any evidence that anyone purposely deleted any kind of video?
No.
Objection calls for speculation.
No.
I have no further questions, John.
You cross examination, so-
Good morning.
Good morning.
So ma'am, I just wanted to clarify, because you said a few moments ago that you were asked about tampering. And I believe you said tampering would show that the entire hard drive was wiped. Am I quoting you correctly?
If you're asking if certain times were deleted from the hard drive,
Right.
you can't delete just 1 hour, 2 hours, or 1 day. When you format a hard drive, it'll format the entire thing, which means I would not be able to go back to April 29, 2022, which was the earliest recording on this DVR.
So just so I understand you, so you're saying if somebody were to tamper with a DVR hard drive such as this one, that would result in everything being deleted?
Yes,
Okay.
because it's a hard drive within the DVR and it's not NVR or any other, there's no other method to actually extract or delete any video.
As far as you know, when you took the hard drive into possession, the footage on it, it had footage on it, correct?
There was footage, but not the footage that the detectives were looking for. So the time frame that they were looking for was not there.
Okay, so I want to pinpoint exactly when it was that you took possession of this item.
When I took the DVR?
Yeah.
So I was there at 9:21 a.m. So somewhere around that time
This is
on
on
the 29th, June 29th.
June 29th. You arrived at the home
Correct.
of the owner of the home who had the DVR.
Yes.
Who else was there when you arrived?
Detective Gnors and Detective Morales.
And you said that you didn't make contact with the owner of the home, correct?
I don't make contact with the owners.
So you only interacted with those detectives.
Correct.
And it was the detectives and not the owner of the home who gave you the DVR, correct?
No, the DVR was on scene.
Okay, so you watched some videos on the scene?
No, I don't watch videos. I only export the videos that they're requesting.
Did you unplug anything?
I unplugged the DVR once I noticed that it was no longer an option to export on scene. And they advised that they gave consent and that they want to take it to the office.
Without telling me the contents or what it is that you saw, if anything, did you see anything, any footage from that DVR before unplugging?
No,
So how is it that you know that, well, you said, so you weren't talking about what's on the DVR, you just tried to download it on scene and you were not able to do it,
correct,
and that's when you took it with you,
correct.
correct? So is it fair to say that you yourself weren't able to verify what videos were or were not on the DVR at that moment? Because you didn't see anything?
I didn't view any video.
Okay, so you can't say what videos were or were not on the DVR at that moment?
No.
All right, thank you. You get back to the station.
So this DVR, this video must be very, very, very important. They want that video back. They're probably gonna hunt down the person who deleted it. I guess, that's too bad. That was probably some evidence of what really happened. Boy, it's unfortunate that things go down like that, It's sad.
And at the station, you find what, that there are no videos on the DVR?
No, when I got back to the station and I plugged it into DVR Examiner, it will not scan the hard drive. So I was never able to pick up the hard drive to get to the export.
You couldn't get into the hard drive?
No.
Were any attempts made to, rather than get into the hard drive, to at least view what was on the hard drive through another screen or another monitor?
No,
Why not?
because I went through the export option to try to get the times that they wanted, and it said no record, no data, so the times are not there.
So from your perspective, when you checked, are you saying that there was no video for you to watch, even if you could watch the video?
I wouldn't go back to watch the video. I only export.
I understand, but your goal is to download these videos to be watched so that you can watch them at a later time, correct?
No.
What do you mean?
I don't watch the videos. I only export the video and then I provide it as evidence to the detective.
Let me
So
rephrase. Your goal is to get this video so that somebody, like a jury, can watch this video at a later time, right?
for me, it's for the detectives. I don't do anything as far as the case goes. I get the video, whatever it is that they ask for, camera, dates, times. I get that video, I put it onto a USB, and then I would put it onto a disk. Then at that point,
he's trying to get her to say what was on that video, because I think it was some pretty good evidence, you know, that there was a domestic and that she was being assaulted by her husband. Maybe. What do you guys think? I don't know. Allegedly, she was being assaulted. I don't know.
that's the
Let me
evidence.
rephrase my question. Let's assume that the detectives asked you to do this because they wanted to have a video, which is evidence, which they could later arrange that video to be played in front of a jury or a judge at a trial,
Okay.
right? Okay. So your purpose was to get that video so that they can use it later, right?
Yes,
You tried to download it for that purpose and you weren't able to because, as far as you can tell, the DVR didn't have any data on it, correct?
it had data. It just wasn't exporting the dates and times that they were asking for.
So you couldn't export it. However, you know that the detectives were able to watch some of the video before it was taken from the owner's home, correct?
Normally, when they ask us to come out, it's because they've already reviewed video.
So we know that it was working and you could see videos on it before it was taken from the owner's home, right?
What was that, sir?
We know that this DVR has footage which the detectives supposedly had already seen, and that's the reason why they're sending you to retrieve it, right?
Yes.
You're not able to retrieve it?
No.
So wouldn't it be effective to plug in that DVR, which you're not able to get anything from, plug it into a monitor to see if you could still play the videos, just like the detectives had done back at the person's home?
It would have been the same thing. I'm just taking it from one monitor to another. What I was able to see on scene is the same thing that I was going to see back at the office.
Right, but you could see it, and then you could record it another way, right? With a
No,
body-worn camera, or with a phone, or just record something so you preserve it as evidence, right?
there was no evidence. I was not able to export the dates and times that they were asking.
And I think we're not understanding each other. I understand that you couldn't download it, but my question is, your job is to retrieve this so that it could be watched later. We've established that, right? So you can't download it. So as an alternative to accomplish your task, my question to you is, isn't it true that you could have found a monitor, plugged in the DVR, play the video that you're looking for, and record it with another device, such as the body-worn camera that you're wearing, take out a phone, record it in any other way, and that way we have a recording of the evidence this evidence which pertains to a murder case. Isn't that a solution to the problem?
Are you asking about playback? Like
Yes.
to actually play the video?
Yes, ma'am.
My job is not to play back the video. My job is to respond and export the video.
Okay.
He's asking, did you have the option of playing it?
Yes, the playback option is there. But my reason for responding was to export the video. And when I went to export and it will not be exported, at that point, we took the DVR back to the office.
All right, so all those other options that I just explained to you, none of that was done, correct?
No.
And at some point, the DVR was returned to the owner, correct?
Yes.
And if the owner, when he got the DVR back, found that everything had been erased, can you explain how something like that could happen?
If I run DVR Examiner, like I said, I don't plug the hard drives back in for that reason, because it usually resets the hard drive or wipes it out completely.
So you wouldn't have wiped it out completely?
No,
Right.
no.
So if we have a DVR that was in this home, and this DVR had about a month's worth of footage on it, then it's taken from the home. And then sometime later, it's returned to the home. And now when it's at the home, it's working fine, but all that month-long footage is gone. How do you explain that? How does something like that happen?
I can only tell you that I unplug the DVR, plug it into DVR Examiner, and normally when we plug it back in, which is the reason why we don't do it, we don't plug the DVRs back in when we return them in case detectives need more data later. Normally, when you plug it back in, it formats and resets the hard drive.
So is it fair to say that as you sit here, you are not able to tell us how it was that a month's worth of footage was lost while it was in police custody? You're not able to tell us how that happened?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Detective, just to clarify, when you plug in the DVR to DVR Examiner, you do not plug it in again, right?
No.
And that's because why?
We don't want to plug it back in case the detectives need more data later on. If we plug it back in, it formats and resets the hard drive.
And so the hard drive then would be blank
Correct,
because it's been reset.
correct.
So when a homeowner gets a blank DVR, or excuse me, a DVR back and plugs it back in, it would reset,
It will cause the reset or the format of the hard drive.
which would delete everything.
Yes.
Great. I have no further questions, John. I'm going to sidebar.
You can shut down.
There you go. There's your answer about that DVR. Taking some Pepto-Bismol. All right, they must be on a little tiny break here.
Or just Carol, can you come back in? You're still under oath from yesterday.
Okay.
So come on back in. Thank you.
Yes, Judge. Good morning, Mr. Cisneros.
Good morning.
So I want to go back to where we kind of left off yesterday.
Oh, so this is the
You mentioned
gentleman
that
with
the
the
police came to
DVR.
your house to ask for your cameras.
Yes,
Did you view those cameras with the detectives while they were playing it?
yes,
You stay there the whole time.
yes.
You please tell the jury what it is that you saw in that footage.
Same objection.
It's the same, late, the foundation.
Understood, Judge? Mr. Cisneros, before we get into what you saw,
Uh-huh.
did the officers try and download the video that you viewed together at your house?
I believe that was their original intention, yes.
Were they able to download it?
No, they were not.
Do you know why they weren't able to download it?
Not exactly. No, I'm under the assumption it's because like I mentioned before, the device is an older device.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Why they were able to download it, I'm not exactly sure. Just maybe the programming wasn't compatible. I can't really say for sure.
At some point, did someone come and try to take your DVR to get that video?
Yes,
Did you give them the DVR?
yes, I handed the DVR.
It's
Sorry,
just,
the last part? You're soft spoken.
Oh, I'm sorry. I handed the DVR. Yeah.
was there any evidence of tampering with the DVR before you gave it to the detectives?
No,
When the detectives were viewing your video, did you see them mess with the DVR at
No.
any point?
No.
Did they try to delete the video?
no,
Did they try to tamper with it?
No.
Did they cut a cable?
no.
Did you cut a cable?
I did not cut any cables.
Did you try to tamper with it?
No, I did not.
When the detective came to retrieve your DVR, did you give it to them?
Yes.
Were they able to retrieve the video?
As far as I know, no. When it was in their possession, no.
When you got the DVR back, were there any videos on it?
No.
Was there any evidence of tampering when you got it back?
No.
Judge, may we go sidebar?
No, let's continue.
Now, Mr. Cisneros, I want to talk about that video.
Okay.
What did you see in the video?
Same objection.
Oh, yes.
When we got to the time frame that the detective wanted to look at, I know it's in the middle of the night, I can't recall the exact time. We witnessed a person that he was interested in running from the property directly behind mine. Because that property, there's no fencing, so anybody can just come in and out of that property. And I have an alleyway behind my property. It's one of those old type alleyways where garbage used to get picked up behind the houses. He's running towards the fence, towards my fence. Obviously, I have a 6-foot wooden fence, so I couldn't keep going. So then he changes direction and goes, I want to say in an easterly direction. Goes out of view of the camera. A few seconds, maybe a minute later, he's more like not running anymore. It's more like stumbling. And then he drops out of view. Just keep in mind, I have a 6-foot fence, so anything on the ground in the alleyway, you can't really see it, but you can see individuals walking back and forth and also vehicles.
So I want to break that down. You mentioned that the individual the detectives were interested in was running.
Yeah, initially.
He was running towards where?
He ran, my house faces north, so he was running towards the back of my house, so he was running in a northerly direction, and then changes direction and goes easterly down the alleyway, out of view of the camera. And then a few seconds later, he comes back, but stumbling now, he's not running anymore.
You mentioned he was stumbling. Did he appear to be injured?
Judging from my experience as a firefighter, the way he was stumbling, yeah, he did appear like he was injured.
And when he stumbled, what area did he stumble in based on the video you saw?
He fell right behind my property, more on the easterly side of the end of my property, but in the alleyway.
And what else did you see in the video?
Maybe a few minutes or 10 minutes go by, there's a vehicle that approaches.
You mentioned 10 minutes go by.
Well, just
More or less.
just generalization. Yeah, again, any kind of time that I give you, it's generalization. 'Cause it's
So some time goes by, a vehicle approaches. What else do you see?
We see a female get out of the vehicle, approach the area where the subject had dropped, and I don't have any sound on the camera, so can't hear what's verbally being said. And the female paces back and forth several times until I believe a Homestead police officer arrives.
Does she ever get back into the car in the video you reviewed?
To the best of my recollection, I believe she did. But I don't believe she left the area. But then again, the angle of my camera only faces one direction. She did go out of view several times, but
She went out of view of the camera?
Yeah.
When she goes back into view, Do you see her try and approach the male that you saw stumbling?
Yes, she did.
Were you able to see what she was doing?
No, unfortunately, no.
Why not?
Because the height of my fence blocks any view of the ground level.
What was the female that you saw in the video doing after she approaches the male that stumbled?
The best I can describe it, she looked maybe emotionally distraught. A couple of times or maybe a few times she put her hands on her head, and the way I best can describe it is her pacing back and forth. It looked like she was upset.
And did you see when the police arrived in the video?
Yeah, I can't see when the police officer arrived.
Was she still there in the alleyway?
Yes.
Moment to confer, Judge. No further questions.
Let's see if there's any cross-examination.
Good morning again, sir.
Morning.
Now, these videos that you observed with the detectives, you all were focusing on a specific period of time, correct?
Yes.
And that would have been, I guess, after this man had already been shot, that would have been after that period of time, correct?
Yes.
You didn't have a chance to view footage that would have occurred before that may or may not have shown him running around and doing what happened, correct?
No.
But that footage would have been there because you had, I think you said you had about a month's worth of footage on there,
Yeah,
correct?
the cameras record 24 hours a day.
And that month's worth of footage was there at the time that the police took your DVR, correct?
Yes.
And you said you got it back, what, a couple weeks later?
Yeah,
More or
again,
less.
time frame wise, it was a while. Yeah,
Got it back, and when you got it back, there was nothing.
correct.
So when you got it back, you didn't erase anything because you had nothing to erase.
No,
Did you reset the machine?
no, I did not.
Do you have any idea how that month's worth of footage got erased?
I can only speculate that since it's an older device, if it's not plugged into power, eventually the hard drive just deletes the images.
But you don't know that, right?
But not for sure. No, I can't say for sure.
And as far as it being not plugged into power, well, you don't know how that works. You're speculating that if you unplug this machine, you don't know what happens, right?
Correct. Yeah.
But the machine did work when you plugged it back in, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And it continued doing what it was supposed to do, keeping footage, saving it.
Yes.
At any given time, you've got about a month's worth of footage
Yes.
before it starts recording old
Yeah.
footage.
Yeah. Correct.
Wow, it's too bad that footage got damaged because it seems like, they're fighting hard to get somebody to say exactly what was on there. Wow.
All right, sir, thank you.
Mr. Cisneros, how far does your camera that faces the alleyway, what's the width and length that it captures? Like, how far does it capture out?
It'll capture where my property ends in reference to the alleyway. It'll capture individuals or vehicles passing through the alleyway.
Only through the alleyway?
Well, it's mainly focused, like I mentioned, my yard is very small. It's only 5 feet from the back of the house to the fence line. So the whole purpose is just to focus on my property in case there's any trespassers or for whatever reason. But since it has a wide view, it does record, it'll see anything in the alleyway. But that's not its intended purpose. It's mainly just to keep an eye on my property in the back.
Now, this incident happened at 1237 Northwest 14th Street. Can you tell us how close that address is to your house?
We're on the same block. My house is on 15th Street, and then that address is right behind us.
Would your cameras capture all the way to that house?
No, there's heavy shrubbery, trees. The only thing you can see is just trees. There's really nothing, you can't really see anything past that point.
So it wouldn't have captured, even if it wanted to, it wouldn't have been able to capture it?
No, not past that point, no.
Judge, permission to retrieve what's already been admitted into evidence as states 6. Mr. Cisneros, can you show, permission to step down, Judge, the witness? Permission to witness. Can you show the jury where your house is in reference to the alleyway? So when you mention your cameras only captured here?
Yes, there's a doorway here, cameras up, flip it up the cover. This is actually it right here, and pretty much this is what it seems.
Now, are you able to say what direction, when you viewed that video, the male was running?
Here, it came out of this area, the angle of the camera actually seen here. So it looked like it came from this general direction, and then went this way. Came from this direction, came in the view of the camera around here, and then he ran this way. Like I said, he disappeared for about a minute, and he comes stumbling back, and he actually, this is a canopy of a tree, but my camera can see underneath it. It drops around here.
And then where does the female that you see in the video approach from with the vehicle?
I believe there was this general direction, because since it was dark, the headlights illuminated this entire area. So that vehicle was there the entire time. And then she walks in initially, then just paces back and forth several times. First one we saw, so.
Thank you. Please, second. Were you able to see in the video if she was ever on the phone or anything?
No, I can't say for sure. Like I mentioned before, she goes out of view of the camera several times, so it's possible.
Thank you, Judge. No further questions.
All right, folks, I'm gonna take about a 10-minute break before we go on to the next witness. We'll probably go to about 12:30 today, and we'll take a break at 12:30. So let's go back.
Oh, they're really going through the witnesses today. Really going through the witnesses. The defense attorney said that he'll be ready to close tomorrow. I didn't think it would be too long of a trial. All right, we're back from our 10-minute break. Did y'all enjoy that break? Okay.
The next officer that we're calling is the canine officer who found the firearm, so it shouldn't be.
All right. All right, for the jurors.
Nine jurors, down 4 lawyers and slate, you can be seated. The plan is still to bring it 12:30 for lunch. The next witness to the state.
Yes, Your Honor, they both take their guilt.
And thank you, Arthur, for indulging in that. We'll bring that into the-
Raise your hand. You can't swear affirm the testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Good afternoon, officer.
Good afternoon.
We'll take your name for the record.
Victor Gill.
Okay. And can you please tell the jury what's your current occupation?
I am a deputy sheriff with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office,
How long have you been with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office?
going on 26 years.
So what exactly is your current assignment then with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office?
I am a canine handler with the within the narcotics section, and I have a firearms detection dog.
Okay. So can you describe to the jury what some of your roles are as a canine handler?
My daily roles are to assist detectives in their investigations where they need to locate or assistance in searching for anything related to a firearm.
Now, back in June of 2022, what was your assignment? Were you still a canine handler?
Yes.
So what type of training do you need to undergo as a canine handler?
Myself and the dog in our unit, the way that it is the dog and I are chosen. We're both in my situation. I was a green handler, meaning I never handled a canine prior to this, and the dog was never on any scent, meaning the odor that they have to detect. So we both start off green. We have an independent trainer who trains us together, puts us through a whole process. And the dog, basically everyone knows what a dog does. They love to find food. We use that natural instinct to train them to find. We give them a toy. From the toy, we insert the odors that we want them to find. And then we go through the process of training together.
So what's your canine's name then?
It's a female Belgian Malinois named Nani, Nany.
So you mentioned that you were green with Nani. When did that happen? When did you guys first start working together?
I got to K9 in February of 2018.
Okay, so then by 2022, you'd already been together for, a few years then, right?
That is correct.
All right. So I want to break down a little bit about what you talked about regarding scent and how they're trained to find a certain type of scent with the toy.
Yes.
What exactly is Nani trained to find then? And how did you guys do that?
So like I said, it's the natural instinct of a dog to search and to find food. We take that natural instinct and we introduce what is a toy. I didn't bring my Kong, but it's a Kong. It's usually a red or black toy. We introduce that. We play with them to see their enthusiasm, to see how much they actually interact with you. In that process, now we introduce the two odors. The two odors that we associated to firearms are gun oil and black powder. The reason for those two odors is because black powder obviously is in ammunition. So when a firearm is fired, it also causes combustion, which makes the round go out the barrel. So that stays in the on the casing or on the actual firearm. The gun oil, every firearm from manufacturing, from the first day that it has to be lubricated so that it can move, all the mechanical parts can move freely. So that's why we have gun oil and black powder. And they both have to be from inception fired to make sure that the firearm is working. So we know from day one, whenever this firearm was sold, it had to be through a testing process to make sure that it works and that it's oiled properly. So those two odors are the two that we associated to the firearm.
Okay, so you know that you're in the narcotics section, but you look for firearms. Is your dog trained to look for narcotics too then, or?
No, in our section, what we have is what we call single purpose. So sometimes you'll see some dogs will have what they call bite dogs, and then they also can alert to odors. Our dogs are single purpose, so we only focus on one thing, and for my dog, it's just firearm detection.
And how often is Nani trained then?
With our department, we have to certify every year with an independent someone who certifies us. Ours is through FIU, Florida International University, and it's the International Forensics Research Institute. Sends out an independent person who is not attached to our department, and they run us through a testing. I do 4 areas outside of casings and firearms, and then 4 areas interior, and I have to find all 8 of those aids in those locations to pass certification every year.
I have a couple more questions.
I really like listening about the cadaver dogs and the scent dogs. I really like to hear about how they're trained and see them in action and stuff like that. It's very interesting. All right, well, let's hear about his dog, Manny.
Questions about Nani.
Okay.
Has Nani ever had any other handler?
No.
So you've been the only person with Nani?
Yeah, she will retire with me.
Okay. Now, does Nani just use her sense of smell, or is she trying to hear or look for things with her eyes?
Suggestion, no for speculation.
The dogs are based off odor. So when we don't see it, they don't look for the actual item. Again, it's the odor that emanates from the item. So it's the black powders and the oils is what the dog is actually alerting to.
Okay, so I want to bring your attention then to the morning of June 25th, 2022, Saturday. Were you on duty that day?
I was called out on that day.
Okay, so you were called out, but did you respond to 1237 Northwest 14th Street in Homestead, Florida?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you responded to the scene, how does that start off? What do you do?
I usually make contact with the detectives. We do so many of these calls that we're just tools for the detectives. So we usually respond to the scene. We speak to the detectives that called us out to see how they need us to assist them in whatever way.
So when you arrived on the scene, were there other officers already present there, or?
Yeah, there was already other officers present.
Was it still night out or was it day?
From what I recall, it was day.
So were you given any specific roles or tasks during when you arrived?
Like I said, I don't remember the whole incident in its entirety, but I do, per my report, recall that I was asked to search a location, a residence, and an exterior part of a residence. I was tasked, per my report, from what I recall, I was tasked to search a residence and the exterior front location of a residence.
Now, at this time, as you're there with Nani, is there any other K9 unit that's there at the same time?
From looking at one of the reports, there was another the handler that was present.
Okay. Now, what do you do in order to prepare Nani to start looking for any evidence on the scene?
For the interior search, one of the first things that we would do is run through the house or conduct a walkthrough of the house to make sure that the house is safe and there aren't any objects or anything that would interfere with the dog, especially for safety concerns, for myself or the dog.
So we talked about that there were multiple places, that Nani had done a search. On the actual property itself, inside or outside, did Nani locate anything?
Yes.
What did she locate?
A firearm.
Okay. Do you remember how she ended up locating that?
Yes, that's the part that I do remember because it was not a normal situation. I was searching the front location of the area, and as I was searching the area, my dog pulls me towards a tree. areca palm tree and goes into the branches or leaves of it and sits down, and that's how we know. And that's her form of letting us know that there's something present.
Okay, so is Nani on a leash as well too?
Yes.
Now, are you standing in front of her, leading her where to go?
No.
You're letting her take control then?
That is correct.
Your Honor, I'm now showing defense that's been already introducing that evidence as stated exhibit 14. Now, what are you looking at here in this image?
The areca palm tree.
Okay, is that the palm tree that you were just describing that Nani took you to?
Yes.
Now, we see this here. When Nani had sat down and signaled to you that there was something in the area, were you able to see it with your eyes what was there?
No, I was not.
Okay, so what do you do next then as you're being alerted to this area?
I know that someone was assisting me from what I remember. We moved the branches, and as we moved the branches apart, you could see what appeared to be a butt of a fire.
And is that the butt of the fire you're describing?
Yes.
And that's what you saw on that day with Nani?
That is correct.
Now, when you locate that, are you grabbing the firearm or touching it in any way?
No.
What do you do then?
I just notify the homicide detectives and the crime scene technicians just for a chain of custody to make sure that they can itemize and document the property.
So now that you've located the firearm itself, are you and Nani looking for anything else?
I know that we continued to search to a certain extent, but there was nothing else that my dog located.
Did you find any spent bullet casings?
No, I did not.
Did you locate any empty magazines or anything else, or just the firearm?
Just the firearm.
Okay, you're in a moment to confirm. Your Honor, no further questions at this time.
No.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Alright, so, a little earlier than I anticipated, that thing, so we'll take, 11:30 to 1:30. That should give you all enough time to travel, go wherever you go, or stay in the building if you want to go to the cafeteria, or the cafeteria on the, bottom floor. I'm going to remind you again, not to discuss the case amongst yourselves or anybody else, not doing research about it. If you see anyone involved in this case, whether it's the defendant, this thing, the lawyers or any witnesses or potential witnesses, there are my instructions to warn you, please ignore them. Martha will tell you where to meet them on the, probably third floor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead and take your notebooks, put in the envelope like yesterday, we'll take them from you, then you'll bring them back to you once we come back. We'll aim to start testimony at 1:30, so please plan accordingly, so we can start at 1:30, okay?
All right, to adjourn.
So we'll come back and we'll plan to start before 1:30, for our so we'll have this, meeting ready for us. So we'll come back to you before 1:30. Could you inform this, Mr. Tomas, what this is, we'll try to call for today?
I can let everybody know, I'm calling Danny Morales next, he is one of the suspects on scene, I've spoken to Mr. Tomas as well. I need to talk to Detective Morales first. I'm probably going to be introducing the defense phone up at this point and publishing one of the videos with Detective Jimenez, but I need to speak to him first before I do that. I'm a DNA expert, my firearms expert, another canine officer. I think that's a good place to stop for the day. And then tomorrow I'll have one of my detectives, my actual extraction officer, and medical examiner.
So 3 witnesses today, tomorrow.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. I never asked you this, Mr. Tomas, and we'll be talking freely about the, is there a stipulation to legal ID?
We're going to get to that, but yes,
I will be stipulating, yes.
All right.
I have a stipulation.
Okay, so well, thank you for talking before. Although I do know how this goes, right? We're gonna have a grieving family member on the witness
No,
stand.
not,
I know, but just so Mr. understands why you would be stipulating
Yes.
to the legal ID, even though everyone's been speaking freely about who this man was, it still needs to be proven that he was bigger than that, right?
yes.
So we'll come back right before 1:30. If you guys need me beforehand, let us know. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all for everything.
Lunchtime. Ooh, that was a good day. Well, let's zoom. That's why I started late.
Before you go last, I'm gonna start, you're good. I'm gonna start a Zoom again, before we go back, I'm not gonna do it now, because I'm not gonna let it keep running for an hour. So in case someone's like, oh, where's Zoom go, it'll be back up.
And we're back from lunch. Jeez, that was good food.
He's also an officer.
Yes, Your Honor. O-P.
D.
E is a boy.
Did you need a necessary?
One at a time.
I'll be right back, y'all. Someone's at my door.
Is the leader just outside with the witness? So that once you're ready for the jury, you'll come back in, right? Right, is that now just turn off
All right, the jurors.
So the plan still is to take a quick coffee break at 3 p.m. to consider yesterday, and to be done at 5:30 today. So that's the plan. So, all right, state your names.
Yes, Your Honor. State call Officer Rio.
What's the name again?
Rio.
Raise your hand, please. You sound so friendly. Testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do. Good afternoon, officer.
Good afternoon.
Can you please state your name for the record?
Deputy Harold Ryobi.
Okay. And what is your current position and employer?
I'm employed by the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office, and my current duties, I'm a field training officer for Miami-Dade.
Now, back in 2022, what was your role, or what was your position?
I was a firearms canine handler.
And what exactly did you do as a firearm canine handler?
I would help with homicide investigations, any type of investigation that a firearm was used.
Okay. So were you in this role then around June 25th, 2022?
Yes, I was.
Now, what type of training do you have to undergo to be a canine handler then?
When we first get our dog, we go through a stringent 6-week initial training where we get the firearm canine we imprint the dog as far as to learn the odors of gunpowder and gun oil.
Okay. Now, what was the name of your canine around this time?
Trigger.
And with Trigger, how long had you been working with him then?
When this occurred, approximately 8 years.
Okay. Now, is Trigger still working today?
No, Trigger's retired.
And why did Trigger retire?
He was getting up in age. I had the opportunity to either get another dog and stay as a firearm handler, or since Trigger I didn't want to get another dog because I've been on 25 years, so I could leave at any point. I didn't want to have to train another dog and possibly have the dog go to somebody else or anything, so I just left the program.
Okay, but Trigger was working in 2022 then, right?
Yes.
All right, what type of training did Trigger have to go through in order to get this specialization in firearm detection?
Well, it's an associative training where Trigger learns gunpowder and gun oil. And once he's able to determine, where the gunpowder gun oil is, he learns by, we appraise him and he continues on to other.
Was Trigger trained for any other type of scent other than firearms?
No, we're a single odor organization.
Okay. Now, how often did Trigger need to be trained when he was working?
Pretty much trained weekly or daily, actually.
And how many handlers did Trigger have around this time?
Just one.
And it was you, right?
Just myself.
Okay. So I want to bring your attention to the weekend of June 25th and 26th of 2022. Now, were you on duty that day?
Yes, I was.
And did you respond to the scene of 1237 Northwest 14th Street in Homestead?
Yes, I did.
All right. When you went to that scene, what exactly was your role, or what did you do when you first arrived?
I was requested to respond by Detective Hubbard. Once I got there, I was advised that a homicide had occurred, and they gave me areas to run my dog.
Okay. Now, when you were there with Detective Hubbard, was this for a secondary canvas?
Yes, it was.
Now, what is the purpose of a secondary canvas?
Just she was doing her due diligence to make sure that all areas were covered.
Now, are you looking in a specific area with Trigger, or is it just free roam?
No, Trigger's on leash, and Trigger does what he does as far as like any other dog, walking around, smelling, trying to pick up any odors that he could find as far as if there's gun oil or gunpowder.
So how does Trigger essentially let you know that he found something?
Well, if he does find something, he'll go to a seated position.
Okay. And is that standard then for, canines? Or
yes.
Okay. Now, was there any specific area in this case that you were looking for that Detective Hubbard took you to?
It was whatever area that I was directed to run.
Now, during your search, did you end up finding anything?
No, I did not.
Did you end up searching the property of where the shooting occurred?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm now publishing what's already been introduced into evidence as State's Exhibit 8. Were these the areas that you searched with Trigger?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you find any firearms?
No, I did not.
Did you find any spent casings?
I did not.
Did you find anything at all with Trigger?
No, I did not.
Did you yourself see anything with your own eyes that Trigger might not have found?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, one last question about Trigger. Does he lead you where to go, or do you lead him?
I take him to a specific area, and pretty much he leads me.
Just a moment to confirm. No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am.
State House Jason Felix.
Do you sound swear affirm the testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Good afternoon. Can you please introduce yourself to the members of the jury?
My name is Jason Felix, last name spelled Felix.
And Mr. Felix, where do you work?
I work for the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office,
And how long have you worked there?
8 years and 8 months.
And what do you do for the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office?
I work for the Forensic Technology Division, which is actually the crime lab. I work in the Forensic Identification Section, NIBIN Test Firing Unit. My work duty is to test fire, crime scene recovered, and found property firearms.
And can you walk us through what, if any, training that you have to do or experiences that you do to be in your position?
So this position is based on mostly previous work experience. I was in the Army for 4 years, including a deployment to Iraq and Kuwait in 2004. So I have extensive experience with firearms and ammunition. After that, I was a police officer with New York City Police Department for 5 years. I also worked in federal corrections in the Municipal Corrections City Jail for 2 years. I got divorced and I moved down to Florida and continued my law enforcement journey here with a stint with state corrections for a year while I was waiting to be hired by the former Miami-Dade Police Department. And I have been with this agency for 8 years and 8 months. I decided that I wanted to forego work in sworn law enforcement and become a civilian working in the crime lab due to previous experience. So I completed my education. I got a bachelor's degree from Purdue University, and I applied for this position.
So it'd be fair to say that you're fairly well versed with firearms?
Yes, that would be accurate.
Okay. Now, were you asked to test anything in this case?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And when we say this case, is that PD 2206252105513?
Yes, that is the case number.
And is that the case that we're here for today?
Yes, it is.
What, if anything, did you have or assigned to test in this case?
Yes, so my supervisor assigned me a firearm under the case number that he mentioned. And the way that goes for my position, I'll show the jury. I'm given a property receipt. So this is a copy of the property receipt under the case number. And again, I'm assigned firearms evidence. We have a secure vault in our section that stores all of the containers of the firearms. Each container has a unique barcode identifying that that is the correct package. It is affixed with the case number. So I will go to the vault and retrieve that container number, match up the Miami-Dade Police case number with the container number, and take that container back to my desk and begin my process.
Can you explain to the members of the jury what a semi-automatic firearm is?
Yes. Do you want me to explain the cycle of fire?
However you want to do it.
Sure. Okay, so a semi-automatic hand firearm, commonly known as a gun, is a device that is made up of a barrel and an action from which a projectile is fired by means of a small explosion. And I will walk you through the process of firing a gun. So a semi-automatic handgun is going to be loaded with a magazine, which is commonly referred to in civilian vernacular as a clip. If it's incorrect, it's actually a magazine. It is a tubular cylinder or box shape, and it is top loaded with ammunition cartridges until it is filled to maximum capacity. That magazine is inserted into a slot that you grip on a handgun. That's going to be the magazine well. At that point, the semi-automatic firearm is loaded. So the individual in possession of that firearm will rack the slide back of the firearm and release it. When they release the slide, it will simultaneously strip a cartridge from that magazine and seat it into the chamber. The chamber of that firearm is now locked. This is now a locked and loaded live firearm. With a pull of the trigger, one pull of the trigger, it is going to release a firing pin or a hammer, which will strike forward, and it is going to strike the end of the cartridge, which has a detonating charge, which is known as a primer. The primer is going to cause a small explosion and ignite the gunpowder. The gunpowder in that casing is going to propel highly pressurized gases and shoot the projectile from the chamber down the barrel towards its intended target. At the time that projectile is being shot, the casing is going to be ejected from that semi-automatic firearm through the ejection port and land in and around the person who fired that firearm. Now, this firearm is a semi-automatic firearm because with each successive pull of the trigger, the firing cycle process will repeat itself until the magazine is empty.
To report report a change related to your eligibility for SNAP.
All right, everybody, I gotta take off. I will be back later to finish this trial. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day.
Press 3. For child care assistance, press 4. To report fraud, press 5. For income maintenance customer service center contact information, press 6. To repeat these options, press pound.